All right, let's make these cakes. Okay, so you can see my ingredients here. I have 3 large eggs that are ready to go, a cup of granulated sugar. I got a cup here of sour cream. You can use Greek yogurt. I also have a cup of canola oil over here that I'm going to add to that. And then I've got a couple of tablespoons of lemon zest that I'm going to use as well to add to the recipe. And also, I'm going to use a cup and a half of flour. And I'm going to also use about 2 teaspoons of baking powder and then about a half a teaspoon of salt. And so I have my flour here. I've got it pre-measured. So I'm ready to go. So this will go quick because I got to do this twice. And so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add these eggs into my mixing bowl here. So I'm just going to add those carefully like that. I discard that. Now, next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add my sugar. I want to add my sugar. And then I want to add my sour cream. Add my sour cream here. Grab my sour cream. So I want to add my sour cream. Get my spoon here to get the rest of the sour cream out of here real quick, and then I'm going to start mixing. Get all the sour cream out. I don't want all that goodness in there. See just how this comes out. I'm really interested in seeing how this comes out. I'm excited here. All right, so I'm going to drop that. I'm going to lock this bad boy down. I'm going to mix these ingredients up here. So I'm just going to kind of whisk this pretty vigorously until it's smooth and combined. And then while I'm doing that, I'm going to take this oil here and I'm going to slowly drizzle that oil in there. See if I can get that sour cream in there good. Drizzle the oil in now very slowly. It's interesting how we're making this because I've never, most of the time I just dump the oil in, so this drizzling is a little bit new for me, so I'm going to be interested in what this does. Almost done with the oil. Okay, so there that is. And so now the next thing I want to do is I want to add my lemon zest. So I've got my lemon zest. You see I've zested it up already. A couple lemons. I'm going to add that. 2 teaspoons as a matter of fact. Add the lemon zest in. 2 tablespoons. Alright, I'm going to slow it down a little bit. I'm going to add some lemon extract here. I'm going to add a couple of tablespoons of lemon extract. It's going to be pretty lemony. And there's 1 tablespoon. Man, that's a good lemon extract. It's organic. 2. So now I'm going to add the flour, the baking powder, the salt. I'm going to slow this down. I'm going to add a little bit of the flour. Actually, I'm going to add, where's my salt? Where's that salt? Just add that. Just like this, so I can cheese it over there. Half a teaspoon. Not no more than a half a teaspoon is all I need. More than enough of salt. And we're going to add the baking powder here. Just regular baking powder. Use what you like. I'm going to get 2 teaspoons of baking powder. I'm just going to add this in with the flour so I can just get it all in there together. Slowly add those things in. Slow this down some. Just like a little bit. Slowly add it in there. And I can smell that lemon in there. That lemon smells good. Catch up a little bit. Hey babe, hit me that little spatula. No, that's right. I hope that's fine. Use that kind of straight down the side there. Man, that lemon smells good. About lemon in there. Right down the sides. Get everything in there. So what you want to do is you don't want to beat this to death. You don't have to get it smooth. You just want to get it incorporated. And then what we're going to do is we're going to add this into a prepared pan that we've lightly sprayed with some oil. And then we're going to bake this thing for about 50 to 52 minutes. Or at least until it kind of domes on the top. And then we're going to check with a toothpick to make sure that no batter comes on there. And then for the last 10 minutes, I'll put a tint over the top of it because I don't want it to brown too much. So I'm going to stop right there and I'm going to check. I'm going to stop there and check and make sure I've got everything scraped down good. I think I've got it mixed up pretty enough. Like I said, you don't have to overbeat this at all on this recipe that I found. So just going to scrape it down a little bit more. Get some of the stuff off my beater there. Drop her back down. Lock her back down. Turn her back down. And I think I'm good. So now I'm going to transfer that. I'm going to transfer that into this dish. I got my lovely assistant D here helping me out, so you think I'm doing this magically by myself. I'm not. She's here helping me here, so I'm gonna bump this loose. I'm gonna move that out to me. I can leave that there because I'm gonna use that to. So I'm just gonna pour that batter in there. Like that. You can see I've already greased that pretty good. Oops. Sorry about that. Sorry. So I'm just gonna get the rest of that out of there. Just like so. Just like that. Get all that stuff out of there so I get a...
It smells good. I mean, like it's done already.
Well, we'll see how it tastes. We can see if I can get close to Starbucks on this thing here. This is supposed to be a good imitation one, so we'll see.
Knowing you, it's better.
We'll see. This is my first time doing this one, by the way. I never had to do it before, but now forgot. Forgot. Let's see. So I got just a little bit more now I can get in there. I want to try to get all of my batter in there. Now this right here, this one is this is flour. I'm gonna do another one. I'm gonna repeat it, but I'm gonna make one that's gluten free because Deborah likes to eat gluten free stuff. Because she has an allergy, so I'm gonna make one gluten free, just to see what happens. Just see if I can get close. All right. So there that is. You can see it's pretty smooth. So I'm gonna pop that in the oven. Okay, now I'm gonna make the second cake. This one's the only difference between this one and the other one is it's gonna have gluten-free flour in it. So I'm gonna start again with my eggs. See me putting the eggs in there. I think we got the camera just right so you can see me do that. Put that down. Then I'm gonna add 1 cup of sugar. Measuring cup of sugar. Pour sugar in there. See the sugar in there? And then to that, I'm gonna add my sour cream, which this is a cup of sour cream, as you can see right here. And so I'm gonna put that in there, and then we're gonna combine these together, just like I did in the other one. But this one's gluten-free, so we're gonna see how a gluten-free one comes out. Okay, put that in. Now we're gonna mix it. Lock it down. I'm just going to combine these just until they're combined. I don't want to get too vigorous with it. Try to make sure everything gets down in there okay. Up a little bit. Kind of mix it a little bit vigorously, and then next I'm going to add my oil in there, but I'm going to just drizzle it in. So this is 1/3 cup of oil. So it's 1/2 cup of oil that I'm going to drizzle. I think I said 1/3, but it's 1/2. So it's going in slow. So if you prefer gluten-free, you'd use this method. But adding gluten-free flour. All the other ingredients are the same. They got me working today, y'all. I'm making cakes like a baker. That in there. And once I add this, I'm going to add the lemon zest, the lemon extract, and I'm going to combine those. And I'm using that lemon extract. So there's all the oil. And now I'm going to use 2 teaspoons of lemon extract. I'll let Dee put that in for me. It's going to be 2 teaspoons. Let's throw it down, baby. 2 teaspoons. I don't think that's one. So I'm just using lemon extract. That's one. Put one more in there. Two. Ooh, still a little bit. Drop a little bit more in there. I think that's key to the drop. Okay. So now we incorporate that, and then we're going to add lemon zest to that. So now I've got the lemon zest. Okay. I hear you. Okay, I'll put a little more lemon extract in there. Here, let me have a little more. You can add up to 2 tablespoons of lemon extract in there. It depends on how lemony you like things. Never likes things lemony, so we can put more in there. We'll see. After we play around with the recipe a little bit. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is we want to add in the flour and the baking powder and the salt. So I'm going to slow this down a little bit, because I don't want to get flour all over the camera. So I'm going to try to put it in there slowly. This is gluten-free flour. If you want to know what type, just send me a note. Like I said, we have to have both types of pastries here, because we got those that can't do with gluten-free flour, or can't do without it in some cases, so we have to do both. But really, you know, when you use it, really some of these recipes are so good you can't tell the difference, really.
So this one that you should, what happens like?
So one thing for sure, like I mentioned before, you don't have to overmix this. You don't have to beat it till it's smooth. That's why come you don't see me really beating it fast. I'm just trying to get it mixed up really good. And then once we get it all incorporated, I'm going to stop it. Stop it here and make sure I got everything down in there. I don't want to lose any flour or anything. Make sure I get everything in there okay. And now I'm just gonna give it a few more revolutions and then it's ready to go. So like I said, you don't have to overbeat this. It's not something you gotta make sure you whip really hard. Okay? Let's just mix it up here. So we're gonna take another pan. That's good right there. Pop it open. Take that little baby out of there. One thing, if you're messing with, when you start cooking gluten-free, you want to try to make sure, in this case, you didn't see it, but we took our time to try to make sure we cleaned everything up really good, because I don't want to get any contamination when I'm giving it to Deborah, because she's sensitive to gluten, so I have to make sure I do a good job of getting all the real flour out of the way, so I don't contaminate anything I'm making for her. So I'm gonna pop this out of here, see if I can pop it out. Okay, honey, okay, now for you, I'm going to make the frosting. This is a simple frosting. Here I have 3 cups of powdered sugar, 2 cups here, 1 cup here, and I have 2 full sticks of butter. Put them together and make a full stick there. And then I have 4 tablespoons of fresh squeezed lemon juice. That's going to give us that tartness in that icing. So I'm going to add, I'll add the butter in there first. How about that? So I'll take the butter. My assistant has quit, y'all, left me. She said I was baking too many cakes. She said I was making her tired with all this cake baking, so she left me. So there's 1. It's a lot of pressure cooking on this camera over here. Everybody's, giving you suggestions on how to do everything and helping you and getting you all the ingredients. And man, this is interesting. I've never done this before. Now I know how people who have to do this for a living, how they feel. It used to look like it was easy work, but now after just doing this here, I've discovered that, hey, it is a little more to it. There's the 3rd one. And 1 more here. Just unwrap that baby. Flip it in there. Get all the butter in there. I don't want to lose any butter. Of course, I had the butter out. It's at room temperature, so it should make everything go together well. So here I'm going to put the 1st cup in. Powdered sugar, man. See how all the dust goes around? That's one thing about powdered sugar. Makes me nervous. It just floats all over the place. And then I'm going to add that in there. Okay. And last thing I'm going to add is the lemon juice. It's going to give that tartness to that icing. So I'm making a double batch here because as you know, I made 2 cakes, 1 regular and 1 gluten-free. All right. There's that. Okay, so now we pop her down. So, what's going on there? Oh, I didn't get that locked in there good. Let's try it again, Gary. I love this mixer. My wife got it for me for Christmas here. I don't know, I think I've had this thing. I don't know, I probably had this thing for about 2000 and I probably had this thing like 10 or 15 years, haven't I? So I'm gonna lock this thing down. I love this thing. This thing is tough. So we're just gonna start off slow, get everything mixed in there. That butter's already melted, so this is gonna be a nice, simple, almost like a buttercream type frosting with the butter in there, but it's got that lemon juice in there, which is gonna give that tartness to that. And obviously the sweet is the powdered sugar. I'm just gonna mix that up there. So when you're making this, you may have to eyeball a little bit. we put everything in there for the ingredients, but sometimes you might have to tweak it a little bit, maybe add a little more powdered sugar. So I'm looking at that now, and I'm wondering if I might need to add just a touch of powdered sugar. I'm gonna push everything down in there first. Push everything around in there and make sure I have it all set up right. But one of the things also I want to do to this is add a little. I'm gonna add a little bit for that lemony flavor. I'm gonna add just a little touch of lemon extract to it. Just so I can make sure it's nice and tart. So I'm gonna add about 3 tablespoons, or not really, but 1 teaspoon of, 2 teaspoons of lemon extract is what I'm doing, because I'm making a double batch. So 2 teaspoons lemon extract here. So I'm gonna pull out my handy dandy measuring spoons. I'm gonna measure, there's 1, and 1 more, 2. So man, that should be nice and lemony. If it's not lemony, it won't be because I didn't try to make it lemony. Lock it down, incorporate that again. I'm gonna add just a little bit more of this. I think I need to add just a little more powdered sugar in there, because I think it needs to be just a little stiffer. So I'm just kind of eyeballing it here. I don't want to add too much, but I want to add a little bit more to it, just to make sure I get that frosting nice. Frosty. Just a little bit more. I've made enough frosting, I can tell if it's got enough sugar in it or not. I think that's gonna do it too. I think that's what I want. I'm gonna shut it down and scrape it down here real quick. And that's about it, you know. I mean, it doesn't get any easier than that. Like I said, it's like a buttercream frosting, but it's got lemon all over it. Lemon juice, lemon extract, lemon. Got plenty of lemon, y'all. Like a lemon icebox pie. Got plenty of lemon. Mix it up. And that'll cover 2 cakes, which I'm gonna floss, and I'll show you that in a little bit. And we're gonna eat cake, y'all. Perfect. So when you pop that out of there, it's frosting, y'all. Man. Boy, that's good. That is good. Alrighty.
I'm gonna take your word for it.
It's lemony. It's tart.
Yep, it is. Pretty good.
These haven't been frosted yet. They're fresh out of the oven. They're still hot. We baked these at about 350 degrees for 55 minutes. Now, depending on your altitude and things like that, you may have to adjust whether you're cooking gas or electric. And when you do that, you might have to, you know, either up the time or lower the time. In this case, we had to go a little bit over, so we actually went an hour on these 2 cakes. This one is a gluten regular flour cake, and this is the gluten free, and you can see they look pretty much the same, right? So we'll frost these here a little bit later. We'll let them cool. One of the things you want to make sure you don't forget is before you take these out of the oven is you want to get a toothpick or get a skewer, a wooden skewer in the case of what we use, and you want to poke it down and make sure it comes out dry, because if you don't, you'll have raw cake, and nobody likes to eat raw cake. All right?
And don't open your oven back and forth constantly trying to check the cakes if you've never done this before, because you will prevent your cakes from rising or make them flat, right?
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, you don't want to keep you turn that light on and take a look at it. Now, if you think that it's getting brown too fast, like once you get toward the end, one of the things you can do is you can pop that oven open because it's not completely done yet. Put some foil over top of them, and that'll stop them from getting too brown if you don't want to get too brown. These are a pretty brown color, and so I didn't do anything to do that, but that's one of the tips you can try. All right. So we're gonna frost these, and then we're gonna eat these with you here pretty soon, all right? So obviously the tricks of the camera is gonna, you know, speed this up a little bit, but I'll see you back in a little bit. Bye.
You can talk. I'm not using yours.
See, it's easier to run across. You take the thick parts off the ends and put them on.